With each new installment to the Animal Crossing franchise comes many changes, some big, some small. An example of a huge change would be when we got Harriet and her salon Shampoodle in Wild World so we could finally change our hair for the first time ever. A small-ish change would be the progression of donating fossils to the museum. At first we had to mail them in. Now we're at the point where we just kind of handed them to him and he's like, yeah, we have it, or no, we don't, here, have it back. However, many of us would argue that it's those minor modifications that actually make a pretty large difference, and New Horizons is no exception to this. Hey y'all, I'm the Geek Apprentice, and yeah, I'm still addicted to this game. Since its release, and at the time of recording this video, I have close to 80 hours, I believe, put into this game. Somehow I still manage to eat, sleep, pray, work on choreography for one of my other jobs, so that's good, I'm still getting stuff done. Anyway, little changes, big improvements. Animal Crossing is no stranger to many of these little quality of life modifications, which I actually have a video about some of my favorite changes that you can click here to see. And I can tell in my time playing New Horizons that Nintendo has kept up this trend. Joining me today in listing and discussing these changes is Twitch streamer and fellow podcast host for the Game Over Jesse channel, the Hylian Games cast, Chewbleema. She is a huge Animal Crossing fan, and I knew she'd be the perfect guest for today's video. I'll be linking her Twitch stream in the description below, but just be warned, I am a very PG channel. She is very much a not PG channel, and she'll be the first to tell you that her streams are not PG, mine are, so just bear that in mind, because I know I have some viewers who like to watch with their children, so just so you know. Anyway, here's Chewbleema.
Hey everyone, I'm Chewbleema. You guys might recognize me from the Hylian Gamecast, and today I am here to also help talk about some Animal Crossing and some changes that have definitely made our lives so much better. If you guys ever want to see what I do, we're going to put some links in the description below, but mostly I'm on Twitch, and you can also find me posting on Twitter and Instagram as well, and I hope to see you guys around.
Of course, New Horizons brought a myriad of changes, big and small. Like I said, we are focusing on those little changes that one may overlook, but us longtime fans might be the first to point them out as solid choices on the part of the developers. Something like changing your hair when you want is actually a big change because it got rid of the salon and Harriet, but we are talking tiny quality of life upgrades. That said, this list is not exhaustive, so comment below if you noticed others not mentioned in this video. Cause I can tell you right now, even since writing this script, I've already begun to notice at least 5 others.
Polite and courteous as all the shop NPCs may be, the fact that they always had to give you a big hello and goodbye whenever you entered or exited their store could sometimes be a tad annoying. Sweet as it was, it did slow down the game a little bit, which is saying something considering the nature of Animal Crossing is to be calm and relaxing. However, in New Horizons, all these characters, such as Tom Nook, Mabel, Isabelle, and so on, only talk to you if you interact with them first. One exception is Timmy and Tommy, but even then it's just a little bubble above their head which says some sort of greeting, but it doesn't stop you to run through dialogue, and this goes for when you leave a building as well.
In previous Animal Crossing games, we used to have to make an arduous amount of trips to Nook's store to sell our items. Why? Because products like fruit and shells, they didn't stack. Have 15 spots in your pocket? Then you can hold 15 apples. Well, not really, because you were also holding a net and a fishing pole, and you get the point. To be sure, it got tiresome. But in New Horizons, there are several items which stack in your inventory up to a certain amount. Fruit stacked to 10, materials such as wood, stones, and bamboo stacked to 30, fencing stacks to 50, so on and so forth. This allows us to hold a ton more in our pockets and affords us fewer trips to Nook's Cranny, as well as less wasted space in our storage.
Fans of the Animal Crossing franchise have been long awaiting a simpler way to visit other players, and while maybe New Horizons doesn't knock it out of the park, it certainly has improved a lot for those of us who've been around a long time. The introduction of having limited time special codes, much like with Pokemon trading in Sword and Shield, offers a way to visit with Animal Crossing players without needing to add them to your Switch friend list. But why would you want to visit with anyone whom you don't know? Simple. To see what fruit they have that maybe you don't, look in their shops, which will be selling something different than yours. Better yet, if you visit someone in a different hemisphere, then you can catch critters that aren't in season for you at that time. The point being, the addition of simple timed codes is the perfect way to safely allow players to visit with each other, especially when you consider a lot of people you may be visiting with could just be from random online communities that you can't always trust. Not to mention that this game truly garners an audience across a large range of ages, everyone from preschoolers to great-grandmas. Which is probably a good time to mention that the feature of best friends versus friends is helpful too, since you don't want randos chopping down your perfectly placed orange trees.
Okay, perhaps most would overlook this, but for some reason I noticed it right away. In the past, whenever you had to sit in a chair to speak with a character, you would have to wait through the animation of you turning and standing back up, then sitting back down to get their attention again. In New Horizons, you stay sitting when you are in a place like the town hall, or the residence center, whatever you call it. Not finished asking Isabel some questions? Fine, just immediately press A again to restart the conversation. Sure, it's only like 10 seconds being saved, but that can add up. Talk about a minor detail that seemed huge for me.
One of the most time-consuming aspects of Animal Crossing that we probably all forgot about is throwing stuff into your house just to see what it looks like, only to quickly pick it back up and sell it. This occurs because any items that you get out of trees, balloons, etc. are only either a leaf, generic wallpaper, flooring, clothing item, or umbrella in your pockets. While that part is still the same, it's not so when it's in your storage or you're going to purchase it from Nook's Cranny. In the past, even in storage you couldn't tell what your items were. You had to take it out and set it up to remember. Same goes for buying wallpaper and flooring at Nook's. This is not so in New Horizons. When an item is in storage, you can see exactly what it looks like. Also, when you look at different items in the cabinet at Nook's, you can see what they look like there too.
If you have played a mainline Animal Crossing game prior to New Horizons, then this situation is going to sound familiar to you. It's midnight. You have been fishing and catching bugs for hours. You have your pockets just full of the most incredible and expensive critters. And they are all stacked inside and outside of your house. Why? Because the stores are closed and you can't sell them till they open in the morning. But most of those rare critters are in the evening, so what are you supposed to do? This situation is rectified in New Horizons. Now there's a little bin outside the front of Nook's Cranny where you can drop off items you wish to sell when the store is closed. The next morning you will receive a phone call from Timmy letting you know that the money is now in your bank ready to be accessed. While yes, they do charge a crazy 20% convenience fee, at least the option is there, so you don't have to wake up to 3 floors full of hammerheads, oarfish, beetles, and Lord knows what else. Although you could put them in storage, but even then, you could fill that up, and who wants to go through all the trouble anyway? Well, I suppose if you don't want to lose the 20%, you will, but you get the point.
Since this list was only comprised of 6 modifications, we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Did you notice these changes? Are there any we missed or simply just didn't put in the video? Let us know. And again, huge thank you to the Geek Apprentice for letting me guest on her video. I'm Chewbleema, and I hope to see you guys around. Thank you!
Thank you again so much to Chewbleema for joining me for this video. Guys, I definitely recommend checking out her Twitch channel, which, like I said, is linked in the description below. Not PG, very not PG, but if you are able to watch anything above PG, I recommend. It's a good time. If you enjoyed this video, maybe consider looking at my other content and joining the geekdom by subscribing. And I also happen to have an Instagram at The Geek Apprentice where I do Q&A sessions randomly, things like that. It's a good time. I also want to give a huge shout out to my patrons such as Lorulian Sheep, Sushi Bandit, Cheap Seats, Ryan Harvey, Joking Batman, and Ryan Kirkland. To all of my patrons, I always appreciate your support, but especially right now with how crazy the world is and the fact that a couple of my main jobs, which were the main source of my income, are kind of MIA. And of course, the community you all bring is just so much fun, whether it's streams or Discord. I'm so very much appreciative of you all. You rock. But anyway, that is all for today. Stay healthy, stay safe, and thank you for watching.